I'm Irv Cutter, rector of St. Luke's Church, and I am so excited about welcoming people back for Sunday worship beginning on June 14th. Maybe you've been enjoying the live streamed services that we've been offering over these past few months, and maybe you, like me, are excited about returning to church. Before you come to church, there are a few things that you can consider before you even leave home. Number one is whether you should be coming back to church at this point anyway. If you're a member of an at-risk population, let me strongly encourage you to continue to stay home and worship with us remotely. If you're exhibiting any symptoms of COVID-19, please stay home. Keep your symptoms to yourself so that we can create as safe an environment as possible for the people who do come to worship. But if you do choose to come to worship, there are a few things you can plan to bring with you. Let me encourage you to download a bulletin and bring it with you. We'll continue to make those available by email on Saturday evenings. You can download it and print it at home or download it to a device that you bring with you and use during the service. This will simplify things at the church. It'll minimize the things that people have to touch. Although we will have bulletins available for people who need them when they arrive. And also, please plan to bring your mask with you. When we wear a mask or a face covering, that is a very powerful symbol of our concern for people around us. So please bring your mask with you. We will have masks available for people to use if they forgot to bring their mask, but I do look forward to seeing you here at church wearing your mask. When you arrive at St. Luke's, you'll see that, of course, we continue to have both parking lots available for people to use, the north lot and the south lot. In this initial stage of our return to worship, we are suspending the use of the golf cart for people who need some assistance. So if you're able, let me encourage you to park in the south lot and make the walk up to the church, reserving the spots in the north lot for people who may need a little more assistance making their way into the church. You don't need to have any concerns about using surfaces like the handrails. We will be sanitizing those throughout the day. And of course, once you make your way into the church, one of the first things you'll see are hand sanitizer dispensers, and we'll want you to make use of those once you enter the narthex. While you're here at St. Luke's, please plan on avoiding any physical contact with other people. No handshakes or hugs. I know this will be hard for a lot of us, but this is one good way for us to practice social distancing when we gather again to worship. Once you've made it into the narthex, you'll find yourself in a very familiar space, although we have modified it somewhat. Many people go straight to the name tag boards, but for various reasons, we're not going to be making use of name tags in this first part of this phase in our life. You will find greeters, ushers who are ready to welcome you and answer questions you might have and help you find a seat. Over here you'll find copies of the bulletin in case you didn't bring a copy with you. You'll also find copies of our return to worship procedures if you'd like a reminder about some of the detailed plans that we've put into effect. And of course, as you look around, you'll find plenty of people wearing masks. We are expecting people to wear masks while they're here. And if you happen to arrive without having brought your own mask, we will have masks available to share with you here in the narthex. Once you come into the church, you'll see we've got the space set up to incorporate social distancing protocols. We'll be allowing seating in every other pew, so we use ropes to block off certain pews, as you can see. And then we have tape on the pews where people can sit to help make sure that 6 feet distance is kept between them. So on pews where people can sit, we could have a single person and then a couple on the other end of the pew. If a family of 3 comes in, they could sit in one pew with a single person on the other end. If a family of 4 or more shows up, we'll just give them their own pew and they can spread out all the way through. We've calculated a maximum capacity in this space, and once we hit that maximum capacity, we do have overflow areas. Ushers will be available to direct people to the parlors where they can sit, maintaining distance from others in the parlors, and watch the service on the monitors in the parlors. Beyond that, we also will have monitors set up in the parish hall for even more overflow seating for the people who come to worship. After offering the Eucharistic prayer at the high altar, we will come down and offer communion here at the bottom of the chancel steps, offering wafers only, no wine, to people who come forward. So we'll be here, and then ushers will guide people in the pews to come forward. They will help people maintain that 6 feet of distance while they're waiting in line. When people come forward, then we will drop a wafer into their outstretched hands. We've got plenty of protocols in place to ensure that this is as sanitary a transaction as possible. And then once you have received, you can go back either way to the pews in which you were seated. Once everybody in here has received, then ushers will invite people in the parlors to join us and also to come forward and receive. Now, of course, if you have concerns about receiving communion, let me assure you that there are spiritual benefits available to people who are here worshiping with the community, but who are not able or who are reluctant to receive the sacrament. And so I want to assure you of God's desire to bless you fully and that those spiritual benefits are available to you. Everybody who does come forward will also notice that we have offering plates here. Rather than passing the plates during the offertory, people will be able to bring their offering and place it in the plate on their way forward to receive communion. We'll also have plates in the narthex for people to drop their offerings off there, either before or at the end of the service. At the end of the service, when it's time to leave, we will be dismissing people by pews. So ushers will release people one pew at a time, starting in the back and then working their way forward, one pew at a time, all the way to the front. On your way out, please plan to take everything with you that you brought in. If you have paper that you want to recycle, you can put it in the bins that are here in the narthex. And also, we want to keep the flow of traffic moving here in the narthex. So please plan on not socializing here, but once you've left the church, just go through the narthex and make your way outside. While you're here, you can be assured that you will have access to the restrooms in the hallway beyond the parlors. Those will be available for use, although we are limiting occupancy to 2 people at a time in those restrooms. And for parents who are planning to bring their children to church, please know that we are looking forward very much to having your children in the church with us. And for parents who may need to change a diaper while they're here, they can make use of the diaper changing stations that are in the nursery on the south side of the hallway. I hope you have a sense that parish leaders and staff and I have been working hard to get ready to bring people back to St. Luke's Church. Every aspect of the policies that we're putting into place will help to create as safe an environment as possible for people to gather and to worship God here at St. Luke's. If you want to remind yourself about any aspect of the guidelines under which we're operating, you can click on the links attached to this video. And in the meantime, I am so excited about June 14th when we will open the doors and welcome people back to St. Luke's. I'm going to look forward to seeing you and worshiping with you here when the time is right for you.